compare that to these figures of last year, for the moving violations, that's a 107% increase. For the parking violations, that's a 198% increase. And total summons, 122% increase. This ultimately means that our police has increased activity. They're doing their jobs well. It's great things for safety. It's great things for the revenue of the city. So moving on, I do want to speak on Randolph Avenue traffic enforcement. There's been a patrol division with 4 summons and 6 written warnings. The traffic division has 64 summons, 30 of those which are for speeding. The total summons issued were 68, and the traffic calming initiative that has been in place, conducted from January 12th to January 27th on St. George Avenue, has the following findings. The initiative began in January 30th of this year in collaboration with the Union County Police Department. The focus area is St. George Avenue between Union Street and River Road, that is a school zone. And it's enforced during school zone hours from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. and during the afternoon, right after school, from 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. There's been speed reminder measures, signboards placed in both directions near Franklin School. These initiatives aim to enhance traffic safety and reduce the speeding in the school zones and other high-risk areas. As far as the community outreach that the police department has done, beyond the enforcement, the department continues its commitment for public safety by doing a homeless outreach. So efforts for the city to support unhoused population have included outreach sessions. There's been 2. And the focus areas are food, clothing, and shelter, housing resource, and state rental lottery applications, social service program connections. They do daily police checks conducted at the Rahway train station due to some commuter complaints. The case status updates are as follows. New cases are 18, cases in progress are 5, and refusal and services is at 3. Now, why do people, refuse services? Some people who are in this position do receive some type of government benefits that they feel it may be at jeopardy. So they have their own reasons on why they deny the help, but the main thing is that we are making an effort to reach them. As far as compliance issues, as mentioned in prior meetings, there has been an ongoing issue with the El Poltron bar located on New Brunswick Avenue. There was an incident that took place on January 25th, 2025, and the establishment allowed the consumption of alcoholic beverage by a person not yet 21 but over the age of 18. Statute cited is the New Jersey Administrative Code, Title 13, Chapter 2, Section 32.1, Subsection A. This incident represents a violation of the state's alcohol regulations, and appropriate actions are being taken to address this. As far as improved public access to records, the Rahway Police Department has implemented the following update. Effective February 6, 2025, there's new public access hours. The Record Bureau will remain open every Thursday night up until 7 p.m. to accommodate our citizens. This extended service aims to improve accessibility to our residents who may not be available during standard business hours. Most people do work. We are a working class city. So that's been that. Director, thank you for your time to collect this information and help put together this report. The same thanks goes out to Chief Law Enforcement Officer Ganley. And I just have to say that great job in just improving the efficiency and the effectiveness of just the citations and the stops. We're all better because of it, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Excellent report. Excellent. Well informed, and I must compliment the police on doing an excellent job, too. Now at this time, we'll hear from John Parhan on
You have to do communications and bill list.
communications and bills.
You've received the December payment of bills, the police report, and the fire report.
I'm sorry, Mr. Parhan. On
Thank-
Black History Week.
Thank you, Council President. Happy Black History Month to everyone. I want to begin by thanking Mayor Giacobbe and City Council for approving and supporting the Black Wings American Dreams of Flight presentation that's currently on display at the gallery space. A special thank you to Administrator of Cultural and Heritage Affairs Rachel Felice for spearheading this effort. The collective dedication of the mayor, the council, and Rachel, and everyone else that helped make that presentation happen reminds us that history is not simply the act of remembering, it's about keeping these stories alive for future generations. As I walked through the Black Wings exhibit, I saw stories of courage, ingenuity, and perseverance. Black Americans who defied odds, broke barriers, and shaped this nation, often with little recognition, as evidenced by the amount of times I heard and spoke the words, "I never knew that." But their achievements did not come easily. They succeeded despite laws, policies, and systems designed to hold them back. This is why history matters, not just to celebrate progress, but to confront the struggles that made it necessary. Yet, while we honor these triumphs, we must also ask, what happens when a nation chooses which histories to remember and which to forget? We say never forget when we speak of 9/11, and we should, ensuring that our vigilance against terrorism remains strong. We say never forget when we teach about the unspeakable horrors of the Holocaust, and we should, so that genocide never happens again. And yet, when it comes to slavery, the forced bondage and generational oppression of millions, we are told that was a long time ago, move on. Why does this nation at times demand remembrance for some atrocities, but silence for others? Slavery was not just a dark chapter in our history, it was an American institution, and though the chains are removed, the oppression evolved, turned into black codes, Jim Crow, redlining, segregation, mass incarceration, and systemic racism. We are still living with its consequences today, and if we fail to confront this reality, how can we claim to have learned from history? So in remembering 9/11, if remembering 9/11 is about vigilance, and it is, if remembering the Holocaust is about preventing genocide, and it is, then remembering slavery is about dismantling the systems it left behind. We cannot say never forget for some and let it go for others. So today, during Black History Month, and for every month hereafter, whether well-intentioned or not, I am asking that you don't ask me to forget that there was a point in history where men held other men, women, and children in bondage, treated them as chattel, separated them from their families, and committed atrocious acts of brutality against them. Please don't ask me to move on. Because from that pain came things like gospel, jazz, blues, and hip-hop, music that carried our stories when words alone could not. And because from that suffering, table scraps became delicacies, turning survival into culinary culture. Because from that generational oppression came the ingenuity that is on display at the gallery space, minds that built and shaped so much of what we do and who we are as a country. And finally, because from that suffering came the coping mechanism of humor, a tool that fuels resilience and a spirit that refuses to be broken. Happy Black History Month. Never forget. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you very much. Very nice.
Okay, Mr. Landolfi, you've been requested by council to provide a summary of the ordinances and resolutions on the agenda.
Well, that's a tough act to follow, so I'm going to go to the mundane here. Council President, as you requested, administration is going to give a brief overview of those. Should I be speaking into this, Joe?
Yes, sir.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Yep.
Better?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so a brief overview of the important actions that we're going to be asking you to take this evening. I'm going to start with reading of first ordinances. The first ordinance, it's titled an ordinance amending zoning article 4 supplementing use regulations regarding signs. And by the way, for the public, we have briefed council previously. We've tried to have communication with everybody directly. So this is really for, as you requested, Council President, for the public. Really, what that ordinance does, it regulates signs, but much more specifically, regulates the placement of signs as political advertisements. The placement, when they can be placed, where they can be placed, how long they can be placed, etc. I would like to state clearly and without equivocation that it is a leveling of the playing field for all, regardless of office that is being sought, what political affiliation that individual comes from, or that position that party may be advocating. It is leveling of the playing field and will set standards for the placements of those signs for everyone. So we think it's a good thing. There was some ambiguity in the code before this. We think it clears up that ambiguity, and again, levels the playing field. And these are ordinances on first reading. The second is for a sale of a piece of property that's been deemed excess by the city. We have no purpose to continue ownership of the property. It gets it back on the tax rolls. It will be through a competitive process. It is a non-conforming lot, so it simply authorizes the sale, and that needs to be done by ordinance. The third ordinance is really more of a housekeeping situation. It's mandatory that we adopt the stormwater control regulations that are promulgated by the state. This ordinance meets that requirement. In effect, brings us into compliance with the state regs. Under resolutions, the first one is a resolution and adopting and accepting the safety incentive program that has been promulgated by the Central Jersey Joint Insurance Fund. I'm going to hit on this real quickly, just 2 points. The first is that I know the business administrator is very actively involved in implementing this program, taking it very seriously. It really does 2 things. Certainly, it enhances the city's ability to provide a safe workplace, and that's very important. That's the primary goal and the primary reason for having a safety incentive program. The second reason is that there's a direct correlation between our insurance expense, the number of claims we have, what we pay out in deductibles in our workers' comp line of coverage, direct relationship between that and having an active safety incentive program. So the JIF that we're currently in, the Central Jersey JIF, has a very active safety incentive program at their level. As a member, by adopting it and adhering to it, we certainly provide enhanced workplace safety. And not quite as importantly, but as importantly, we also save some money, because at the end of the day, it'll decrease both the number and the severity of the workplace accidents that are incurred. Next resolution is awarding a service contract, really as part of a wellness program that we provide for employees. The third resolution, AR 5625, I'm going to spend a moment. You have to read the language of the resolution. It's a little bit confusing. A resolution authorizing the preservation of the New Jersey Historic Preservation Fund administered by the New Jersey Historic Trust. Really what we're doing there is we made a grant application to the New Jersey Historic Trust and the grant would be to prepare a plan and an application for inclusion of the gallery space onto the National Historic Register. This is the first step in that process. We're really pleased that we're asking council to move forward with it. We think it's a very, very positive funding opportunity. We think we should be approved for the funding. It is dependent upon an appropriation out of the legislature and ultimately agreement by the governor. But if things break our way in that process, we think we'll be funded, and we think that's a really first important and good step in preserving the gallery as an historic institution. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes on several of these. AR 5725 is a request to fund in 2 separate allocations the RCAO JFK Center. We fund 2 distinct and separate programs there, $30,000 apiece. The first is our after-school program. We do a couple of things. We help them support. We support a couple of activities there. They have a bilingual tutoring program. They have a homework tutoring program. They undertake some wellness activities across all the students and grades there. We allocate $30,000 to that. They take that and help offset the cost of those programs. I don't think I have to extol the virtues of the RCAO and the JFK. I think we're well aware of the vital role they play in the community, the vital services they offer, the high quality and level of professionalism that they do it with. So we're extremely happy to be making this recommendation. The second area that we fund is their summer program. Goes to trips, helps offset the cost of their swimming activities they perform at the Y, and it also helps offset their transportation costs. So again, a very, very worthy organization, and one that we're really pleased we've been able to partner with to offer those services. Next resolution is to award a contract to Wisdom Media for graphic design and creative services. They do play a large role in several of our activities, the review, preview, all of our advertisements and public relations, et cetera. The next one I'm going to spend a moment and talk about. It's a resolution authorizing a service agreement between the city and the Rahway SID. The Rahway SID is assuming you move forward with the ordinance tonight designating that organization as the management entity. This resolution would authorize a service agreement with the SID for the city to provide management services, maintenance services, other type of administrative services with personnel that are currently employed by the city, and then being reimbursed by the SID for the provision of those services. They're outlined in the agreement, and that's really, it's a follow-up to the move that again, we think you're going to take with passing the ordinance on second reading tonight. It's really a follow-up to that, giving the SID the management support, administrative support that they need to operate on a daily basis. The next resolution is retaining a prosecutor. That's really a renewal. We had to do it by resolution, so it's really a housekeeping. The next several resolutions, I think, are housekeeping. The first is authorizing the Special Improvement District to hold the Taste of Spring. There's a resolution retaining, and most of these you did at the reorg meeting or at the next meeting. But it's a resolution authorizing contracts to provide general engineering services. The next five resolutions are purely housekeeping. They're authorizing veterans deduction, tax deductions, refund of overpaid taxes, et cetera, redemptions, tax liens. They're purely housekeeping. We are recognizing the mayor's appointments with AR 6825. The mayor makes appointments to the planning board with the exception of the council's representation there. What AR 6825 does, it memorializes that, it records it, so it'll be in the official records that those appointments were made. AR 69 appoints Councilwoman Timmons as the council representative to the planning board. AR 70, again, is housekeeping. It's requesting that the Union County Community Development organization recognize our applications as submitted. Those applications I don't believe have been submitted yet. I do think they'll come back to you for resolution. 71 is an acceptance of a bid for a sidewalk and signage program. We also have AR 7285, which is a resolution supporting a bill that would that really looks to limit the proliferation of what's called puppy mills, but it's for any animal. The proliferation of the mass reproduction of animals for sale. That's something that we thought from a policy perspective made a lot of sense to ask you to endorse. That's all the resolutions. We do have several ordinances on second reading tonight that we have previously discussed. They do have public hearings. After the public hearings, if need be, Council President, I would ask that the administration be permitted to comment.
Once again, an excellent report, and it's great information for the public to see what we're doing and how we're doing it, and it informs everyone. Thank you. So at this time, we're going to have the Citizens Resolution Ordinance, the first reading, or any other item. This hearing is for citizens portion. It is for the meeting. The citizens have 5 minutes to speak on the resolution. The first reading ordinance is listed on the agenda only. The second ordinance will have their own public hearing. All city council will not speak on anything while the comments are being made. And we listen to all the citizens' concerns, the debate, and answer any questions. And do we have anyone that wants to speak? Ms. Capone?
Yes, Pranita Bijlani from 103 Princeton Avenue.
Please state your name and the residence, please.
Yes, my name is Pranita Bijlani, and I live at 103 Princeton Avenue. Good evening. I'm here once again to entreat you to support the Climate Superfund Act, a critical bill that would make the largest fossil fuel corporations pay for the damages caused by climate change. As I mentioned at the last meeting, the bill applies the logic of the original Superfund Act, which requires polluters to pay to clean up their contaminated sites, but now to the climate crisis. The bill now has 24 co-sponsors, including Assemblyman Jim Kennedy, our former governor, who has signed on to be a co-sponsor because he knows it's the right thing to do for our district and for the planet. The Rahway Environmental Commission has put a resolution supporting the Climate Superfund Act on their agenda for their meeting scheduled for this Thursday, and I am very hopeful that they will vote to support it and urge the town council to support it as well. I'm hoping we can be poised and ready to move forward with the resolution for our next town council meeting in March. Let's join Hoboken, Parsippany, Teaneck, and Jersey City in making a bold statement in support of making polluters pay for the climate disasters they are causing. As you know, Rahway has unique climate vulnerabilities since it is situated in a floodplain. According to the First Street Foundation, which assesses climate risk, 43% of all properties in town are at risk of flooding over the next 30 years. There is severe risk to roads, and there will be deeper floods that will affect more properties. A 1 in 100-year severe flood event now has a 26% chance of occurring at least once over a 30-year mortgage. The City of Rahway Hazard Mitigation Plan Annual Progress Report details how we as taxpayers are already paying for climate mitigation and adaptation, such as stormwater management system upgrades, the repair and replacement of tide sluice gate systems, culvert cleaning, a $75,000 desnagging program, the design and installation of water depth gauges and warning signs for all areas that received significant flooding during heavier rain events, etc. How much is all of this costing? Why not shift the burden of these costs to where it rightfully belongs, to those who have knowingly and knowledgeably caused it? Why should we as taxpayers have to pay when these large fossil fuel companies did the research decades ago and have known for all these years about the damage they were causing and would be causing, and knowingly went ahead and emitted billions of tons of greenhouse gas pollution rather than change their business model? We know this is a time that the state and municipalities must hold fossil fuel companies accountable because the federal government will not. With the Climate Superfund Act, we will be able to recover costs for climate change adaptation projects, which include things such as flood protection projects, home buyouts, upgrades of stormwater drainage systems, defensive upgrades to infrastructure, preparation for and recovery from extreme weather events. Please include the resolution supporting the Climate Superfund Act on your next meeting agenda. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Ms.
No one
Capone?
else has signed up.
That's it?
That's all that signed up. You want to see if anybody from the public?
Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Sitting to my right, to the left? Okay, thank you. I need a motion in a second to close.
So moved.
I second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown is absent. Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montestioka?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes.
Timmons?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes. Are there any reports or updates from administration?
Council President, if I could, just two items. I'll try to hit them quickly. You heard the business administrator earlier in the meeting talk about the significance of the Black Wings exhibition, and it's, I think it's another example of a truly remarkable, and I'm going to expand it to arts and humanity, because really, when you look at the definition there, we've crossed over into the humanities with some of the things that are being done. And that's a tremendous example of it. And it's on the heels of one that we had last year, and that was the Harriet Tubman Beacon of Freedom exhibit. And we're going to have another one later this year, and that's the Museum of the Moon. And it's another exhibit. It's internationally known, internationally traveled. And again, it's part of the concerted effort that we've made over the last several years that the mayor sent everyone on the mission of trying to expand the public's ability to access that type of quality art, and in this case, exhibits that cross over into the area of humanity. So we're really excited about that. The Black Wings exhibit, again, the BA did an outstanding job of outlining the significance of that. Is an integral part of that, and an example of the type of art and humanities that I'm not going to say we're looking to bring back, because at that level it's never been here. So it's not a rebirth, it's a birth. So we're really excited about that. Second item, a little bit more mundane. We've been notified by Veolia. Veolia has the contract to manage our water system. They are responsible for it. They notified us today that they're experiencing higher chloride levels in the water than they normally do. This is a direct result of a salt and brine calcium chloride that's utilized during salting operations. We draft out of the Rahway River so that it's also upstream communities, not necessarily, and frankly not even primarily as a result of our salting operations. But those products do get into the river. They can cause a salty taste. They can cause a smell and odor. What I want to assure you and the public is that we've been assured by Veolia that it is not in no way harmful. It may be noticeable, but it is not harmful. To help counteract the odor and the taste effects, we've authorized Veolia to increase their purchase of bulk water from Middlesex Water. We have a contract there that permits us to purchase increased amounts to supplement our system. They draft out of an aquifer, so they don't experience those same problems. So hopefully that'll have a noticeable impact on decreasing the effects that we're seeing. But our municipal engineer, Mr. Lee, will be in constant contact with Veolia with regards to that situation, and monitor it closely. Again, it's not harmful, but it is something we are mindful of. Council President, that's all I have.
Thank you for the information.
I have a question in regards to that.
Yes, Councilman Brooks.
Is there any knowledge on how long we can anticipate to have altered taste or smell in the water? I know it's weather permitting, I would imagine, but has there been any word on a timeline on when that might dissipate?
I'm going to offer up an answer, but then if I get it wrong, Dan, you correct me. There is no set answer. It's really dependent on how quickly there's runoff into the river and the quantities of salt, brine, et cetera, that were applied. By way of example, if you get a rainfall immediately following a snowfall where there were large amounts of brine and salt applied, that taste will elevate quickly, but it'll dissipate relatively quickly. I don't know what the timeline would be on this one, but it's probably going to be a little bit longer because we did have a freeze after it was applied. So I would imagine there'll be some experience in that. I don't know for how long, but for longer than a day or two.
And another storm's coming up, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Engineer-like with that response there.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we're going to proceed. First order. Okay, first readings. Ms. Capone, ordinance O-0825.
An ordinance amending Chapter 421 zoning, Article 5, supplementary use regulations, Section 49 signs of the municipal code of the city of Rahway.
And that'll be Brooks and Montez.
Council comments.
Second and mover.
You gave me the second and the mover, just ask for council comments.
No comments? Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown is absent. Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montez de Oca?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes.
Timmons?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes. Okay, so we'll go on. O-0925.
An ordinance authorizing the sale of one property known as Block 331, Lot 6.
That'll be Brooks and Miles. Council comments? Let's move on. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown is absent. Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montez de Oca?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes.
Timmons?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes. O-25.
An ordinance amending Chapter 362 of the Code of the City of Rahway, code entitled Stormwater Control for the Non-Residential Major Development.
Mohica and Newberry. Council comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown is absent. Miles? Mohica?
Yes.
Montez de Oca?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes.
Timmons?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes.
Ordinances 0825 through 01025 are deemed adopted on first reading and will come up for public hearing and final adoption on March 10th, 2025 at 7 p.m.
Okay, we're going to move to resolutions. AR 5425.
A resolution accepting and adopting the Central Jersey Municipal Joint Insurance Fund's 2025 Safety Incentive Program.
Parsons and Timmons. Any questions? Nope. Resolution AR 5525.
A resolution to award a service contract to Comprehensive Medical Nutrition Solutions to provide employee health consulting services.
Brooks and Montez. Any comments? Resolution AR 5625.
A resolution authorizing the preservation of the New Jersey Historic Preservation Fund administered by the New Jersey Historic Trust.
Miles and Newberry. Comments? Resolution AR 5725.
A resolution authorizing an agreement between the City of Rahway and the Rahway Community Action Organization, a 501c3 organization.
Parsons and Timmons. Comments, questions? Resolution AR 5825.
A resolution authorizing a non-fair and open contract with Wisdom Media for graphic design and creative services.
Mohica and Brooks. AR 5925.
A resolution authorizing a service agreement between the City of Rahway and the Rahway SID.
That'll be myself and the council. Questions or comments? AR 6025.
A resolution authorizing a professional services contract for municipal prosecutor services.
Brooks and Timmons. Questions or comments? AR 6125.
A resolution granting permission for the Rahway Special Improvement District to hold a Taste of Spring 2025.
Miles and Mohica. Questions? AR 6225.
A resolution approving professional services contracts for professional general engineering services for the City of Rahway.
Montez and Newberry. Questions? AR 6325.
A resolution authorizing the refund of payment of taxes due to the granting of a senior deduction for the calendar year 2024.
Newberry and Brooks. Questions? AR 6425.
A resolution authorizing a disabled veteran exemption, Aaron Clary.
Timmons and Parsons. Questions, answers? No. AR 6525.
A resolution authorizing a disabled veteran exemption, Vincent LaRocca.
Mohica and Newberry. Questions, comments? Resolution AR 6625.
A resolution authorizing the refund of money due to the redemption of tax sale certificates for 2022 and 2024 tax liens.
Brooks and Timmons. Questions? AR 6725.
A resolution authorizing granting of a veteran deduction for the calendar year 2024.
Montanez and Mohica. Questions? None. AR 6825.
A resolution recording the mayor's appointments to the City of Rahway Planning Board.
Brooks and Newberry. Questions? AR 6925.
A resolution appointing a Class 3 member to the City of Rahway Planning Board, Carla Timmons.
Timmons and Brooks. Question? AR 7025.
A resolution requesting the Union County Community Development Revenue Sharing Committee to approve the proposed hereinafter listed and priorities for year 51, 2025 to 2026 funding.
Mohica and Parsons. Questions? AR 7125.
A resolution awarding the acceptance of bid for the project entitled 2024 Sidewalk and Flood Warning Sign Program for the City of Rahway to Crossroad Paving.
Brooks and Timmons. Question, comments? AR 7225.
A resolution supporting State Bill S-2511 A-4051, the Humane Pet Store Bill.
Myself and the whole council. These resolutions will be adopted in one motion as a consent agenda. Do any council members wish to remove or any council on the agenda?
I
No?
make a motion to
Make a motion,
pass.
second.
I make a motion to pass the consent agenda as read.
Thank you.
I second.
I'd like to have a roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown is absent. Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montestioka?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes.
Timmons?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes. Second reading, please read 00125.
An ordinance amending Chapter 401 of the Code of the City of Rahway, Vehicles and Traffic, Adams Street.
Okay, at this time, there's open public hearing on ordinance 00125. You have 5 minutes to speak. Anyone have like to come up and have any comments?
No one has signed up. No one signed up.
No one signed up? Okay, Clerk Anderson. Anyone else like to speak? Okay. If none, name and address says. Any councilman have any comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown is absent. Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montestioka?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes.
Timmons?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes. Ms. Cone, could you read 00225?
An ordinance amending Chapter 401 of the Code of the City of Rahway, Vehicles and Traffic, Irving Street.
Okay. At this time, I'll open the public hearing on 0225. Anyone?
No one signed up.
Anyone in the pub? No? Anyone from the council? No. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown is absent. Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montestioka?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes.
Timmons?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes. Would you please read 00325?
An ordinance amending Chapter 401 of the Code of the City of Rahway, Vehicles and Traffic, William Street.
At this time, it's open public hearing. Anyone have anything?
No one signed up.
No? How about my council? Anyone like to say anything? Okay. So let's go to a roll call then.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown is absent. Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montestioka?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes.
Timmons?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes. Could you please read 00425?
An ordinance amending Chapter 393, Tree Removal and Replacement to make certain corrections.
Okay, at this time, we're public meeting once again. Does anyone have anything to say?
No one has signed up.
Anybody in the audience? No? How about my council? No? We'll go right to roll call then, please.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown is absent. Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montestioka?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes.
Timmons?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes. Ms. Capone, 0525.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Raway authorizing the acquisition of real property designated as Block 279, Lot 10 on the tax map of the City of Raway, commonly known as 767 Leesville Avenue, Raway, New Jersey.
Okay, at this time, once again, it's open to the public. Does anyone have anything to say?
No one has signed up.
How about my council? Okay, may I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown is absent. Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montestioka?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes.
Timmons?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes. Whoop, I think I lost 6. We're on 6.
Mhm.
Okay, 0625.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 97, Special Improvement District of the Code of the City of Raway.
Okay, once again, it's open to the public. Anyone have anything to say?
No one has signed up.
How about my council? Roll call again?
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown is absent. Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montestioka?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes.
Timmons?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes. 0725.
An ordinance amending Chapter 35, Municipal Ethics Board of the Code of the City of Raway.
It's open to the public once again. Anyone have anything to say?
No one has signed up.
Okay, council, no? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown is absent. Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montestioka?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes.
Timmons?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Okay. Miscellaneous, is there any miscellaneous business?
There is no miscellaneous. There is none.
Any councilman would like to have any comments? Starting down there with Mr. Mohica.
Thank you, Council President. Hello, everyone, and happy Black History Month. I also attended the grand opening of the Black Winds exhibit, and it is exactly what B.A. Parham said, something to see and something to actually reflect on. There's a little bit in there for everyone to understand and learn. Just keep in mind, make sure that you jot this down. June 30th is the last day that you can actually see the exhibit, so it'll be open till then. When I spoke to the curator of the exhibit, Rachel Fillets, I said, you know, the thing about being successful when you're putting something together is that everyone's looking forward to the next thing. So I think she says, well, I'm confident. I think I can handle that. So congratulations to her and all who were involved. Great job, really great job. I also want to mention the soup stroll. It did pretty well this year, especially on the third week. Obviously, that rain really helps, you know, rain and soup, whoever thought. Beautiful combination of the two. So that went very well. And I want to thank Public Works and all who are involved in the snow mitigation and the snow removal. Obviously, we do have an impending storm or some type of snow event happening. I'm doing my snow anti-dance. I don't want it to snow, but I know Joanna Miles might, you know. But yeah, either way, whatever side of the argument you're on, just make sure that you check in with your neighbors, especially the elderly. They definitely need your help. And if you're too lazy to do it for them, that's okay. See if you have a son, daughter, nephew, or grandchild to go out there and help them out. They need your help. And lastly, just a happy Valentine's Day to everybody. I'm wearing red today. I see over there Heather Capone's got some red on there too. So definitely just let everyone know that we got some great restaurants out here in Raway, right? No need to go outside. Let's maintain it local. And if you're looking for flowers, we got plenty of flower shops around here to choose from. So gentlemen and ladies, all right, go out there and spend your money. We definitely need it, and so do the businesses. Thank you.
Ms. Miles.
Thank you very much. I think Councilman Mohica got everything in right there. I will just say about the snow, just be careful. It is slippery outside, and just be careful because it's icy. Watch out for your neighbours if there's a sidewalk that needs doing, and if you're able, that's fantastic to help out. Anyway, I didn't get to the Wings exhibit, but I look forward to going to, and you answered the question about when it ends, which is June 30th. Thank you very much. That's all, and happy Valentine's Day.
Ms. Newberry?
I don't really have much to add from what my colleague said, but I will do this. And I know that my 8-year-old daughter is watching for tonight because today is her birthday. So at this time, I would like to wish Jules a happy birthday. She was
Mr.
tempted to
Montez.
come to get a happy birthday song, so no.
Mr. Montez, you have something?
Good evening. I actually just want to commend our BA on his words in regards to not only our exhibit, but Black History Month. Turning 40 years old in September, and I believe that's the best illustration you could ever give somebody in regards to putting them in your shoes in recognizing oppression. And as a minority myself, I commend that. Beautiful words, and thank you for that on behalf of everybody in this room and the city of Rahway.
Okay. Ms. Timmons?
Good evening, everyone. Happy Black History Month. I also had the opportunity to attend the Black Wings exhibit, which is extremely awesome. So please make time to go and take a look and read the names. You will see that there are some pilots that were local to the area. So I do want to commend everyone who took part in that exhibit. Putting it together was well done. And also I want to make mention of the Black History Month event that will take place on the 13th at the Hamilton Stage at 7 p.m. So if you're available, please come out to support the Union County with that event as well. It is a free event open to the public. Just go online and register. And also, happy Valentine's Day. Love is in the air. Let's love on each other, the community. And yes, I do want to mention also in regards to the snow, let's not forget about our children. And when dropping them off and picking them up at school, please be mindful of the weather, and also when leaving for work, because I have seen some areas where there, could be some, let's just say, more thought put into the way that we've been driving.
Thank you. Ms. Timmons? Ms. Parsons?
Good evening. Good evening. Just pretty much going to echo what my council colleagues have said already. Thank you, Mr. Landolfi, for the explanation of the ordinance and resolutions. Great job. I really appreciate that. And the Black Wings exhibit is really, really awesome. So definitely go and check that out. Thanks to DPW. Great job of cleaning up with the snow on yesterday. Yeah. Super Bowl win for the Eagles. Sorry. I'm an Eagles fan. So again, thank you all for coming out. We really appreciate everything that you guys do. Thank you.
Mr. Brooks?
Thank you, Council President. Happy Black History Month. It's been a great month thus far, and I'm very proud of the displays that the city has put together. I want to give a special shout out to the Rahway Recreation Department for them putting together the display. Excellent job. I haven't seen a gallery space look so well. And to the point with our BA, yeah, he made incredible points in helping us understand that our stories are similar, our struggles are very much similar to one another. I think as a society, we tend to forget, or when we see people who look different, we don't see ourselves in them. So it's very important to understand history and understand your history, and then you can see the relation to that. There's a lot of talks about DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And in Rahway, we say our diversity is our strength. I just really want to just put on record that when you speak on being inclusive, it's not a guarantee of outcome, it's just a guarantee of opportunity. I can give you just real life examples. The law protects us all, that's for sure. But the truth of the matter is, if you have a resume that has a more ethnic sounding name with the same credentials, that person may be looked over. So this is why we have things in place like DEI. That's why it matters so much. So I am proud that our city is not shying away from the right thing, even though the political climates might say to go against that. We believe in something totally different here in the city of Rahway. We believe in our residents, and we gather strength and knowledge from them. And to that point, to the residents that do come here and present resolutions with knowledge and research behind that, we truly do appreciate that. Amongst the council, it is taken into great consideration. We have just an outstanding team of very knowledgeable individuals that help explore and show us if it's possible to make it a reality here in the city of Rahway. We've done it before. I'm sure we will do it again in the future. I also want to say we have Ms. Young in the audience today. We are going to have a great event taking place at the Rahway Senior Center on the 21st. The Bradford Hayes Quartet. I've seen them in action before. They do a phenomenal job. So that will be on February the 21st. Just a lot of great Black history moments taking place in the city of Rahway, such a vibrant community. And I'm certain that we'll be doing other great things for all groups and all people in the near future. With that said, it's been pretty nasty out in regards to everyone getting sick. I unfortunately missed our event that we had for MLK Day because I was down with the flu. So with that said, please take care of yourselves. Don't neglect your bodies. Don't run yourselves into the ground. If you ignore it, if you don't sit down, God will sit you down. Everyone take care and be safe.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks. And I would just like to say, I think it's one of the best meetings or one of the better meetings we've had in a long time. I think it was very informative. We've got a lot of good information. We're not just throwing numbers at you like Article 5, Section 3, and nobody knows what we're talking about. I think it was great that Bob did what he did. Also, Mr. Parham for helping us. And also that police report that we had from our buddy over here. He did an excellent job, too. And I think that's great what we're doing, and we'll keep it up. Thank you. I need a motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
I second.
Thank you.
Aye.
So I think we'll talk to Ms. Young later. The order of how we comment change. So it was the beginning, and I was thinking about that as it was going on. But we're all here. The meeting's officially over. But if you'd like to talk to any one of us, I think we will certainly welcome to do so.
You can speak. Yeah. You want to speak? We'll let you
I mean,
speak.
the meeting's officially over, but we're all residents, right?
I didn't come out this night not to speak.
Just give us your name and your address. That's all, so
Bernice
people know who you
Young,
are.
200 East Milton Avenue. Happy Black History
Not for the
Month
record.
to everyone. I want to comment on Anthony at the rec center. We've been going back and forth. He has gone from 2 to 9 with my comments, our research, and he executes. Everything is moving up.